At the time, I don't think anyone had any faith that that sketch would air.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at all the fascinating behind-the-scenes details revealed in SNL 50, Beyond Saturday Night.
I purposely did that because I wanted him to fire me.
Number 10, pitching ideas to host. Part of what makes SNL such a chaotic experience is its revolving door of hosts. The writers have to consider the host's strengths, what they're willing to do, and which topics are off limits.
They tell us what the host is interested in doing and what they can do, what accents, can they sing, can they dance, stay away from this topic, they would love to joke about this thing. So it's just giving us an idea of how we should tailor our writing.
While some writers will tailor a sketch around a host's specific talents, others might try to get them to play against type.
The choice of host absolutely influences the type of sketch you're gonna write, and the best hosts, for my money, are the ones who come in and have moves that you maybe didn't understand they had.
Hi.
Whoa, Shrek.
Yeah, I'm Shrek.
Before that, though, the week will start with the writers gathering in a room with the host, pitching them ideas.
Maybe you play a character called the cocky dyslexic, and so you're like, yeah, I'm a billionaire with a V.
Of course, many of these ideas are made up on the fly. The meeting is essentially an exercise to make the host feel comfortable and have a few laughs. Even if everyone in the room is cracking up, what sounds funny in the pitch meeting may fall flat in execution.
Most of the ideas you pitch are fake. If you actually did have a good idea, you would never pitch it because you would want the joke to be fresh at the table read, which isn't for another 2 days.
Number 9, having a recommendation helps. Although Amy Poehler rose to prominence on SNL with her colorful characters, she auditioned with something more akin to a Weekend Update piece.
How did I swing that? Did I ask for that? Did someone ask that of me? I don't know. I don't even want to watch it because I don't remember it.
Looking back, Poehler had mixed feelings about the audition, but the producers already knew they were hiring her.
We knew we were hiring her before she did this. This was more like formality.
Poehler can't help but sense that Tina Fey played a major role in getting her the gig. While having somebody in your corner doesn't guarantee a spot on the show, a recommendation can go a long way. Jimmy Fallon suggested Andy Samberg, George Wendt called about his nephew Jason Sudeikis, and Gwyneth Paltrow championed her former classmate Maya Rudolph.
There were people who went on that stage and they already had the job, and then others that came in the side.
When Anthony Michael Hall was in talks for the ill-fated season 11, he helped his best friend Robert Downey Jr. get an audition too.
Michael Hall said to me, I'm gonna go do SNL. I'm gonna get you an audition, and I bet you're gonna get yourself on the show too.
So waiting for that bastard to repay a favor 40 years later.
Number 8, new cast member growing pains. Well, this is it. You've weathered the grueling audition process and secured your place as an SNL cast member. The worst part is over, right?
When Marcy Klein called me after to say, like, I think this is gonna work out, I remember saving it on my phone. I saved the call as best call ever. And it was best call ever.
That's what numerous newcomers assume, but little do they realize that every week is essentially another audition. Just because you're a featured player today doesn't mean you won't be fired tomorrow.
I walked in the first day and was like, you guys want to have a sleepover in the studio? No? Does everyone hate me? What? I'm gonna get fired every day, I think.
Cast members have to constantly prove themselves, which is only made harder when they aren't getting the best sketches. Oftentimes, cast members have to write their own material to make a name for themselves.
Everybody's talented, man. You're in this institution because you're talented. So you just gotta find where your talent lays and you just gotta maximize it.
Pete Davidson wanted to be let go during his early days, feeling that he didn't belong. Lorne Michaels gave him some brutally honest yet encouraging words. The first 3 or 4 years always suck.
I was like, all right, and he was right.
Number 7, that time Francis Ford Coppola directed. Season 11 of SNL was a mixed bag, to put it generously. While many ideas didn't work, the season's experimental, at times straight-up weird approach paved the way for some glimpses of true inspiration. A high point was when Francis Ford Coppola directed the episode hosted by George Wendt.
Hey, you want to host Saturday Night Live? Francis Ford Coppola is going to direct, and I was like, yeah, I'm a huge fan, huge. I wasn't expecting him to really direct, but
Coppola was practically a co-host, making himself a constant presence throughout the show.
Excuse me for asking, but is it true you're the boss now?
Well, yeah, I'm directing the show.
Thank God! Finally someone who knows what they're doing.
At the same time, Coppola didn't overshadow the cast. If anything, everyone felt like they were given a chance to shine during a season that hadn't utilized most cast members to their full potential.
And when Francis came, he brought the whole cast together. It was the first time that happened.
While the episode saw a boost in morale and creative energy, it did little to improve ratings. In the show's 50-year history, though, there isn't another episode like it.
Wait a second. Now, you're not using live ammunition, are you, Mr. Coppola?
Well, of course I'm using live ammo. It's live show, isn't it?
Number 6, the evolution of more cowbell. Will Ferrell is one of the most successful SNL alumni, more cowbell being his magnum opus.
It's definitely a testament to trusting your gut, where you're like, yeah, let's just try it.
You know what? It's fine. Let's just do the thing.
Early on, though, one critic called Ferrell the most annoying new cast member, and hardly anybody wanted to do more cowbell. Ferrell originally conceived the sketch with a woodblock in mind.
Woodblock? I don't think it rolls off the tongue.
After getting bumped from a Norm Macdonald-hosted episode, Ferrell rewrote the sketch for Christopher Walken.
By the way, my name is Bruce Dickinson. Yes, the Bruce Dickinson. And I gotta tell you, fellas, you have got what appears to be a dynamite sound.
Coming from you, Bruce, that means a lot.
More cowbell seemed unlikely to make the cut, being set up in the studio's supposedly cursed corner. Yet the sketch moved forward as more revisions were made, Ferrell's tight shirt being a late addition.
After dress rehearsal, I went and changed my shirt and got into tighter clothes. I was like, give me the tightest. Do we have a size smaller of that shirt?
Nobody was prepared when More Cowbell went live. They were even less prepared for the cultural impact, with Walken telling Ferrell that the sketch's popularity, quote, ruined his life.
I went to see Christopher Walken years later in a play he was doing, and I talked to him backstage. And he's like, you know, you've ruined my life. And I go, I have? He's like, every show, people bring cowbells for the curtain call and bang them.
Number 5, a naked man auditioned. Just because a comedian doesn't make it past the SNL audition process doesn't mean their career is over. Jim Carrey, Jennifer Coolidge, Mindy Kaling, Kevin Hart, Donald Glover, Jordan Peele, and Stephen Colbert are just some of the future comedy titans who didn't get cast.
I watched that and I went, oh, good for you, buddy. It's gonna get better. Like, eventually someone will like that enough to hire you.
Henry Zebrowski is a name you might not recognize, however. While his SNL journey ended with his audition, Zebrowski certainly left an impression on the showrunners.
He came out from the wall and he was completely naked.
Demonstrating how far he was willing to go, Zebrowski got completely naked. Producer Lindsay Shookus struggled to remember what Zebrowski did after he stripped down, which might have been the problem.
Like, who remembers what he did, the naked guy? But he was the naked guy.
Zebrowski ultimately wasn't hired, although according to Shookus, the nudity didn't factor into this decision. Zebrowski nonetheless found success in TV, film, and podcasting.
I'm not putting words in your mouth or nothing, but you just said that everybody wants to get rich.
Number 4, from vomit draft to air. Writing a sketch is like getting a bill passed. It's a lengthy process that may end with your work dying in committee.
You have to live with the foreknowledge that more than likely your first draft is not going to be very good.
Gilda Radner described first drafts as, quote, vomit drafts. They're usually garbage, but there might be some good ideas to cherry pick.
The vomit draft, that you would vomit out the words. She'd say, then you start picking out the corn. She was like Miss Emily Dickinson, ladies and gentlemen.
As hilarious as a sketch seems on paper, the table read can be a wake-up call. During rewrites, lines get reworked, jokes will be scrapped, and hours may be spent dwelling on the smallest thing to produce the biggest laugh.
You have to develop a thick skin, let's put it that way. I don't think everybody has a thick skin at first, but you have to develop one.
At dress rehearsal, laughter from the audience will determine what will air first in the live show and what will get canned. Even if a sketch makes it this far, an unenthusiastic dress rehearsal audience can doom it right before airing.
And that's how it's done.
Number 3, Damon Wayans got fired.
Yeah, I got fired. We gonna talk about it.
Joining the cast in season 11, Damon Wayans felt undervalued during his brief SNL stint. His ideas were regularly shot down, being restricted to small, stereotypical parts.
And I'm like, hell no. I said, listen, my mother gonna watch this show. I can't do this.
Wayans purposely sealed his fate with the infamous Mr. Monopoly sketch. Wayans played a cop with only a few lines. Although everything went as planned during dress rehearsal, Wayans suddenly gave his character an over-the-top gay persona for the live show.
Yeah, you're going to jail for a long, long time.
Contrary to what some assume, SNL is rarely, if ever, improvised. Wayans knew the consequences of going off script, hoping he'd be fired. Lorne Michaels indeed cut Wayans from the cast, but to show there was no genuine bad blood, he invited the former cast member back to perform stand-up on the season finale.
And I think he just wanted to let me know that he believed in me.
Number 2, 5 minutes to impress. Some potential SNL cast members bring props to their auditions. Others do impressions or stand-up. In any case, everyone is given just 5 minutes to put their best foot forward. As if that's not stressful enough, nobody in the room is inclined to laugh.
I'm too genuine and honest of a person to fake a laugh. You can't manipulate the process.
This leads some to believe they blew it, making it all the more surprising when they get that life-changing phone call. If an audition is truly successful, it may even inspire future sketches.
Sometimes you'd see something in an audition and you'd be like, that could be in a sketch tomorrow.
Will Ferrell performed the now classic get off the shed routine at his audition.
Who wants a burger? These are just about done here. Get off the goddamn shed!
Kristen Wiig showcased an assortment of eccentric characters that would appear on SNL in the years to come.
Check out lady at Target. I'm sorry that I smelled your candle. Right now we're having a sale on all of our holiday candles. God, I hope someone walks up soon so I can say welcome to Target. I just want to say welcome to Target to somebody. Welcome to Target!
5 minutes isn't much time, but it can say everything about a performer. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Sleeping around. During the first season of SNL, everyone embraced the carefree 70s.
We were very, very young and having a good time.
Props are made quickly. Many go unused, but there's no shortage of severed heads.
And I keep all my severed heads because they'll call me that morning and say, you don't have a Mikey Day severed head. And I just happen to have a Mikey Day severed head just laying around. You never know when they need it.
Chevy Chase wasn't very nice to the season 11 cast. Of course, he wasn't always nice to the season 1 cast either.
He would say, well, it'll never be what it was in the beginning.
Can I ask you one more question?
No, I'm afraid I don't have any time. Thanks, Marge.
Relationship between writers and censors. Writers sometimes submit things they know will be cut to get something else on the air.
And they go like, you can't do that. And we go, what do you mean? Argue. Okay, but can we do that? Oh, yeah.
There are 2 studios, one for the live show and another for pre-taped material.
It's only just one law. You gotta let her get out.
I like that. I feel like ending on the performance is nice.
Cool.
Also because this was at 3 in the morning.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Season 11 was almost the end. With SNL on the chopping block after season 10, Michaels was brought back in a last-ditch effort to save the show.
When I think back on it, I think that the viewers had some questions. Why did Lauren leave? Why did he come back? And where were all their favorite funny people from the previous season, like Martin Short and Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Billy Crystal?
While the previous season had a few standouts like Billy Crystal, Lauren decided to clean house with a new cast. Despite having several notable names like Randy Quaid, Nora Dunn, and Joan Cusack, everyone felt overshadowed by the clear favorite John Lovitz.
He was like the hero. And like me and Robert Downey be like, this liar character again.
This was reflected in the season finale, where the cast is left to perish in a fire, with Michaels only sparing Lovitz.
What are you doing? I gotta wave goodbye.
Don't ask any questions, John. Just go downstairs to my limousine and wait for me there. Writers!
Amid disappointing reviews and ratings, NBC executive Brandon Tartikoff essentially canceled SNL. Initially ready to admit defeat, manager Bernie Brillstein was motivated to call Tartikoff back, begging for another chance.
So I called Brandon back.
And I said, we have to talk. You can't cast it. You got to give Lorne another year.
Season 12 was thus greenlit, and the rest is history. What's the most interesting detail you learned from SNL 50? Let us know in the comments.
And I'm laughing too, but I have the benefit of wearing a beard. So you can't quite tell that I'm breaking as hard as they are.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.